Hey guys, what's up? So today is 11 December 2017 and let us discuss today's MCQs. I hope you have covered the MCQs of the first 10 days and so in regards to that, let's get started. Question number 1, Project Uncover is related to which of the following? So when we talk about Project Uncover, it is basically it is a probe with regarding the deep-seated or concealed mineral deposits in the country. Like there are a lot of mineral deposits in the country which otherwise we will not be able to extract out of them. So Project Uncover is related to that. So answer here becomes B, that is probe the deep-seated or concealed mineral deposits in the country. So it is a special initiative to probe the deep-seated concealed mineral deposits in the country in collaboration with National Geophysical Research Institute, proposed National Center for Mineral Targeting and Geoscience Australia. So answer here becomes B. Question number 2, consider the following statements about the National Mineral Exploration Policy NMEP. So the National Mineral Exploration Policy primarily aims at accelerating the exploration activities in the country through enhanced participation of the private sector. This is correct. If the private explorer agencies do not discover any actionable resources, their exploration expenditure will be reimbursed on normative cost basis. So this is also correct. Establishment of a not-for-profit autonomous institutions that will be known as the National Center for Mineral Targeting. So this statement is also correct. So all of these are correct regarding the National Mineral Exploration Policy. So try to understand, try to learn all these 3 points. So sometimes somehow in interview or mains you encounter this word National Mineral Exploration Policy, you know exactly what to write. So it has following main features for facilitating exploration in the country. It primarily aims at accelerating the exploration activity in the country through enhanced participation of the private sector. And if the private explorer agencies do not discover any auctionable resources, their exploration expenditure will be reimbursed on normative cost basis. Okay, this point is also important. Now they want to establish a not-for-profit autonomous institutions that will be known as National Center for Mineral Targeting. So all these statements are absolutely correct. Now let us see question number 3. Consider the following statements about financial resolution and deposit insurance bill of 2017. So let us see the statements. Instead of a bail-in provision, the bill contains a bailout provision. This is wrong. The bill includes a provision of cancelling a liability owed by a specified service provider. So that is correct. The bill proposes to replace the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation with a Resolution Corporation. So answer here is B, that is 2 and 3. Okay, so instead of a bailout provision, the bill contains a bail-in provision, and unlike a bailout, which constitutes the injection of taxpayers' funds to shore up finances of a financial institution, a bail-in involves the use of depositors' fund to do the same. So answer here becomes B, that is 2 and 3. Question number 4. Consider the following statement about the India State Level Disease Burden Report. Life expectancy at birth in the country has improved significantly. Yes, 100% correct. There was a fall in the under 5 mortality even in every state. So this is also correct. Non-communicable disease and injuries have together overtaken infectious and childhood diseases in terms of disease burden in every state. So this is also correct. So answer here becomes D, that is all of the above. All of these are absolutely correct. So some important findings of the India State Level Disease Burden Report includes that life expectancy at birth in country has improved significantly, and there was a fall in the under 5 mortality in every state, and non-communicable disease and injuries have together overtaken the infectious and childhood disease in terms of disease burden in each and every state. So that is a good news, but not so good news. It's good that we have to reduce infectious and childhood disease, but then NCDs are increasing. Question number 5. Which among the following are included in the Empowered Action Group states of North India? Just remember 2000 there were 3 states which got separated into 6 states, and then there is Rajasthan and Odisha. That's all. So Bihar and Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, UP and Uttarakhand, Odisha and Rajasthan. So these are the Empowered Action Groups. So Assam is definitely not there. Answer is A, 1, 2, 3. So Empowered Action Groups includes 3 states which got split into 6 plus Rajasthan and Odisha. So Bihar, Jharkhand, MP, Chhattisgarh, or UP, Uttarakhand, Odisha, Rajasthan. They have lagged behind in containing population growth to manageable levels. Question number 6. Consider the following statements about methanol. So methanol is also an alcohol, but if you drink it, it can lead to a lot of conditions including death, blindness, etc. It can be blended with diesel. Yes, it can be blended with diesel. It emits lesser oxides of nitrogen, particulate matter, no oxides of sulfur. Yes, this is correct. It can be converted to dimethyl ether, which can be blended with LPG as well. So that is also correct. So answer here becomes D, that is all of the above. So methanol, which is the simplest single carbon compound, it can serve as the best alternative fuel for India. It is a highly efficient fuel. It can be blended with gasoline or diesel. It emits lesser oxides of nitrogen, particulate matter, no oxides of sulfur, and can be further converted to dimethyl ether, which is a clean diesel alternative, can be blended with LPG as well. So answer here becomes D, that is all of the above. Question number 7. Arrange the following countries in decreasing order of their per capita carbon emissions. USA has the highest per capita carbon emission, obviously goes without saying. Then you have Russia, then you have Japan, and then you have China. Per capita is the keyword. Answer is B, 1, 2, 4, 3. So USA is, let's say, 16 carbon dioxide ton per person. India is 1.7 ton carbon dioxide per person. And Japan is 10, Russia is 12.3, China is 7.7. So the per capita emissions of India is just 1/3 of the world average, which is very good. Question number 8. Methanol can be produced from which of the following process? Natural gas. Yes, we can produce it from natural gas. We can produce it from biomass. We can produce it from wood. We can produce it from coal. So answer here becomes D, that is all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. So methanol can be produced from natural gas, biomass, wood, coal, etc. None of them is a wrong statement. Okay. Question number 9. The landscape of Bandipur, Nagarhole, Mudumalai, Wayanad complex. It is also called as the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is home to single largest population in the world of which of the following animal? So answer here is basically A, that is the Asian elephant. So landscape of Bandipur, Nagarhole, Mudumalai, Wayanad complex is home to the single largest Asian elephant population in the entire world. So please try to remember these points. Last question for the day is consider the following statements. The national tiger estimates are conducted once in 3 years. This is wrong. They are conducted once every 4 years. The first national tiger estimates were conducted in 2006. That is correct. So answer here becomes B2 only. Why do we need to do this? Because there is a huge change in the population of the tigers which happens, and we have to track it, and we have to ensure that the population is either increasing or stable. So they were conducted once in 4 years, and the first was conducted in 2006. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So today is 12 December 2017 and we will discuss awesome MCQs based on 12 December 2017. So let's get started. Question number 1. Consider the following statements. The ADIS agenda provides a global framework to ensure the effective mobilization of resources at the national and international levels for sustainable development. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. Implementation of ADIS agenda supports the implementation of sustainable development goals. So sir and ma'am, both these statements are absolutely correct, and you can use this in your mains answer as well as in your essay writing, and read more about ADIS agenda, basically why it is called as ADIS, etc. All these becomes important. Okay, so here answer is basically C, both 1 and 2. So do you know why it is called as ADIS agenda? Because Addis Ababa is the capital of an African nation, and that is why they have taken the first name of that, and it is the capital of Ethiopia. Question number 2. Consider the following statements. The Chinese share in the global emission is close to 10%, whereas its share in global population is about 17%. This is absolutely wrong. Chinese share is roughly 30%, but its population is just 17%. On the other hand, India is less. Okay, we do less than the global average. India's share is global population is 16%, while its share in emission is only 6 to 7%. That is correct. So answer here becomes B, that is 2 only. China's emission is roughly around 8 tons per person carbon dioxide per year, and India is about 1.6, 1.7. So answer is B, that is 2 only. The Chinese share in global emission is close to 30%, whereas its share in global population is just about 17%, so twice. But if you do it for US, don't compare then, okay? US is like 10 times more than India per capita. Question number 3, the mangroves along the east coast of India is more than the west coast because, very important question, because the terrain of the east coast has a gradual slope, but the west coast has a very steep gradients. This is the main reason why the mangroves along the east coast of India is more than that of the west coast. So answer here becomes D. So mangroves along the east coast of India is more 80% than that of the west coast, because the terrain of the east coast has a gradual slope as plains compared with the steep gradient along the west coast. So answer here is basically D. Question number 4, consider the following statements about light detection and ranging, that is Lidar. So Lidar is basically a remote sensing method to generate precise three-dimensional information about the shape of the earth and its surface characteristics. Second statement is Lidar systems allow scientists and mapping professionals to examine both the natural and man-made environments. So answer here becomes C, both 1 and 2. Both these statements are absolutely correct. So Lidar, which stands for light detection and ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a pulsed laser, okay, to measure ranges which are the variable distances to the earth. And these light pulses, they combined with other data recorded by the airborne system, and they generate very precise three-dimensional information and about the shape of the earth, its surface characteristics, etc. Okay, so answer here is C, both 1 and 2. Question number 5, we consider the following statements. BirdLife International is the world's oldest international conservation organization. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. There is no doubt about it. BirdLife International is the official red list authority for birds for the IUCN. IUCN is International Union of for Conservation of Nature. Yes, this is absolutely correct. So answer here becomes C, both 1 and 2. So BirdLife International is the world's oldest is the keyword here, world's oldest international conservation organization, and is the official red list authority for birds for the IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature. Question number 6, which of the following have tropical wet evergreen forest? Andaman and Nicobar Island have for sure, I have seen them with my own eyes. Lower outcrop of Garo and Khasi Hills, yes, so they also have. I have not seen it by my own eyes, but I know that is a fact. Mikir Hills up to 1000 meters, so they also have. So answer here becomes basically D, all of the above. So all these statements are absolutely correct, and again there is no doubt about it in my mind about it. Question number 7. Okay, so tropical wet evergreen forest among other areas, they are also found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Low outcrop of Garo and Khasi Hills, and Mikir Hills up to 1 kilometer. Question number 7, Cherrapunji or Mawson is located on the south side of the Garo Hills. No, this is wrong. This is located on the south side of the Khasi Hills, so this statement is wrong. Second is Cherrapunji is about 4 kilometer above the mean sea level. Again, this statement is wrong. It is about 1300 meters, that's all. It is not 4 kilometer. 4 kilometer is too high. Okay, so answer here becomes D, neither 1 nor 2. So Cherrapunji is located on the south side of Khasi Hills, and it is about 1300 meter above the mean sea level, and it is the place which is characterized by one of the highest rainfall in the entire world. Okay, very famous because of these reasons. Question number 8, consider the following statements. Okay, Nokrek Biosphere Reserve contains tropical wet evergreen forest type of vegetation. Yes, this statement is correct. Now Nokrek is very famous for various reasons. Okay, the river Pindar flows through Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so Nokrek has Loktak Lake also, which has like Kibal Lamjao National Park very close by. So Kibal Lamjao is in Manipur in the Bishnepur district. It has Loktak Lake and Sangai Deer, and Nokrek is in Meghalaya, so they are very close by. The river Pindar flows through Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve, that is also correct. So answer here becomes C, both 1 and 2, both of these are absolutely correct. So Nokrek Biosphere Reserve is located in the Garo Hills in Meghalaya, and it contains tropical wet evergreen forest type of vegetation, and river Pindar basically flows through the Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. So both these statements are correct. Answer becomes C, both 1 and 2. Question number 9. An overvalued currency in the foreign exchange market will have which one of the following impacts in India? So if the currency is overvalued, let's say overvalued in the forex market, so you can import a lot of things because your currency is overvalued. So you can import, you can buy from USA, so it will make import cheaper obviously, but the export part will become costlier because you will not get that kind of money from outside because your currency is already overvalued. So answer here becomes D, that is, it will make the imports very very cheap and the export very very costly. So an overvalued currency in the foreign exchange market will make imports cheap and exports costlier. So answer here becomes D. Question number 10. The inflationary impact of the inflow of foreign capital in India is neutralized by the RBI. By which one of the following methods? So it can be done through open market operations where you can sell the securities. So people will buy securities, money will go out and the inflation will be controlled. So inflationary impact of the inflow of foreign capital can be neutralized by sale of securities in the open market. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So today is 13 December 2017. Let us get started with our MCQs. Okay, so it is very very important and very very pertinent that we focus on MCQs. We focus on the actual answers. Question number 1. Which one of the following species is one of the smallest ranges of any hornbill? So here the answer is A. So India has 9 hornbill species. Okay, so answer here is Narcondam hornbill here. So India has 9 hornbill species and India has one species that is one of the smallest ranges of any hornbills. Ranges basically means that these are like they are confined to a very very small area. So for example the Narcondam hornbill, so it is found only on the island of Narcondam. So answer here is A. Question number 2. Consider the following statements. India's total carbon emissions have become more than 10 times the levels in 1990. Yes, this statement is wrong because it is, this is 3 times, not 10 times. So that is why the statement 1 is wrong. Second statement is India's heavy dependence on fossil fuels and a dramatically low level of energy efficiency is the chief reason for this. So this is correct. So answer becomes B, that is 2 only. So India's total carbon emissions have become not 10 times but it is 3 times. 10 times में तो यार बर्बाद हो जाओगे. And it is 3 times the level in 1990 as per the World Bank data. And second statement is correct. And the chief reason is that we have very very high dependence on fossil fuel. Till today, the majority of the India's energy is produced through fossil fuel. Question number 3. The purpose of recently launched MSME Sambandh portal is. So the portal Sambandh is launched to monitor the implementation of the public procurement which is done from MSEs by the micro small enterprises, okay, and by the central public sector enterprises. So a public procurement portal MSME Sambandh has been launched for MSME, and the objective of the portal is to basically monitor the implementation of the public procurement which is done from MSEs by central public sector enterprises to make sure that there is no dhandla or any such thing like that and they are given the fair value. Question number 4, very very important question. Consider the following statements about the National Judicial Data Grid. Okay, National Judicial Data Grid looks fancy, right? The National Judicial Data Grid is a part of the ongoing e-courts integrated mission mode project. Yes, this statement is correct. National Judicial Data Grid will work as a monitoring tool to identify, manage and reduce pendency of cases. Yes, this statement is also correct. National Judicial Data Grid will cover all the categories of cases excluding those related to juvenile justice system. No, it will not exclude that. This is wrong. It is including those related to the juvenile justice system. So answer here is A, that is 1 and 2 only. So National Judicial Data Grid, first and second statement are correct and the third statement is also correct. It will cover all the categories of cases including those which are related to the juvenile justice system. So answer here is A, 1 and 2 only. Question number 5. Consider the following statements. A scheme called as Khelo India is being implemented by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports as a central sponsored scheme from the current financial year. This is wrong. It is a central sector scheme. So this statement is wrong. There is a huge difference between a centrally sponsored scheme and central sector scheme. Second is Rajiv Gandhi Khel Abhiyan and Urban Sports Infrastructure Scheme were subsumed in the Khelo India National Program for Development of Sports. So that statement is correct. So answer here becomes, that is B, that is 2 only. First statement is wrong. A scheme called as Khelo India, which is national program. Khelo is a Hindi word for play, for development of sports, is being implemented by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports as a central sector scheme from the current financial year. So answer here is B, that is 2 only. First statement is wrong because of this. Question number 6, SciCon 2017, which was recently in news, is what? So it is the first international conference on sports medicine, sports science, etc. And it was held in New Delhi. So it is the first international conference, okay? So answer here is A. So SciCon 2017 was the first international conference on sports medicine, sports sciences, and it was held in New Delhi. So answer here becomes A. Question number 7. Consider the following statements. Under price deficiency payment, farmers are proposed to be compensated for the difference between the government announced MSPs for select crops and their actual market prices. Yes, this statement is correct. From the budget 2017, the union government has replaced the minimum support price with the price deficiency payment mechanism. So this statement is wrong. So answer here is A, that is 1 only. The second statement is definitely wrong. The union government is proposing to launch for those crops where procurement cannot be ensured. So answer here is A, 1 only. So second statement is wrong. Okay. Question number 8. Consider the following statements about the flaws of the minimum support price in India. Its reach is limited in terms of both the crops and the geographical area which it covers. Yes, this statement is correct. Though every year minimum support prices are announced for 20 plus crops before the sowing season begins, actual procurement at minimum support price is restricted to a few crops like paddy, wheat, etc. So this is also correct. The crop with effective minimum support price such as rice, wheat, sugarcane, where the support prices are effective now, are also water intensive. This is also correct. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. So there are a lot of flaws of MSPs in India. Some of them includes its reach is very limited. Both, it just covers few crops. It does not cover all the crops, and the geographical area it covers is also restricted. Though every year MSPs are announced for 20 plus crops before the sowing season begins, actual procurement is very much restricted to paddy, wheat. Paddy means rice. And the crops with effective MSPs like rice, wheat, sugarcane, where support prices are effective now, are also very, very water intensive. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. Question number 9. Operation Sadbhavna is aimed at winning the heart and minds of people by promoting activities that focuses on the basic needs. So yes, this statement is correct. And Operation Sangam is introduced, which allows children from Kashmir to visit different part of the country. So all these are there between Jammu and Kashmir and Indian Army to restore the normalcy as much as possible. And answer here is C, that is both 1 and 2. So not just fighting to protect our nation, Indian Army has also undertaken many initiatives in order to improve its relationship with the civilians. And one such effort is Operation Sadbhavna, meaning goodwill, and Operation Sangam. So answer here becomes C, both 1 and 2. Last question. Consider the following statements. The invisible force that appears to deflect the wind is the Coriolis force. So this statement is correct. It is determined by the mass of the object and the object's rate of rotation. This is also correct. The Coriolis force is parallel. This is wrong. It is perpendicular. So answer is A, 1 and 2. So thank you for watching this lesson. Hey guys, what's up? So let us discuss 14 December 2017 MCQs and let us get started. And these MCQs will really help you on 3rd June 2018 and you will remember my name. Question number 1. Consider the following statements. The topmost decision-making body of the World Trade Organization is the Ministerial Conference. Yes, this statement is correct. It brings together all the members of WTO, all of which are countries or custom unions. That is also correct. The Ministerial Conference can take decisions on all matters under any of the multilateral trade agreement. This is also correct. Answer here is basically D, all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. So the topmost decision making body of WTO is the Ministerial Conference, which usually meets every 2 years, and it brings together all the members of the WTO, and all of which are countries or custom unions. And the Ministerial Conference obviously can take any decision on all the matters which are under the multilateral trade agreements. So answer here is D, all of the above. Question number 2, which among the following correctly defines the term development agenda in the context of Doha round of World Trade Organization? So development agenda is to improve the trading prospects of developing nations. So answer here is A. So if you are just talking about the Doha round, and in the context of the Doha round of WTO, if you are talking about development agenda, so which began in 2001, it is the matlab iska to improve the trading prospects of the developing nations. So that is there. So answer here is A. Question number 3, which among the following are the 21st century trade issues which countries mostly from the developed world want to be discussed for rule making to enhance the relevance of the WTO? So e-commerce is definitely there. Then you have matters relating to small firms is also there. Then you have gender equality, that is also there. So all these are there, but to improve the trading prospect of developing nation, that is not there. That is a separate thing. That is already covered in the development agenda. It is not in the 21st century trade issues. Okay. So answer here is basically A, 1, 2, 3. So countries mostly from the developed world want what they call as the 21st century trade issues, like e-commerce, investment facilitation, matters relating to small firms, gender equality, etc. And they want that they need to be discussed for rule making to enhance the relevance of WTO. Otherwise, what is the point of having WTO? Question number 4, special safeguard mechanism in the context of World Trade Organization refers to what? So special safeguard mechanism is basically refers to allowing the developing nations to temporarily increase the tariffs to counter the import surges or price declines. So answer here is C. Okay. So special safeguard mechanism refers to allowing the developing nations to temporarily increase the tariffs in order to counter the import surges. Otherwise, like dumping can happen a lot, or even the price declines can be controlled, and in turn to protect the poor farmers. So these are the special safeguard mechanisms which we need to deploy. Question number 5, consider the following statements. Aggregate measurement of support, that is AMS, refers to the most trade distorting form of farm subsidies of the developed nations in the context of World Trade Organization. That is correct. Developed countries have more than 90% of global AMS entitlements, that is aggregate measurement of support entitlements. So that is also correct. Most of the developing countries, including India and China, do not have AMS entitlements. That is also correct. So answer is basically D, all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. So aggregate measurement of support AMS, it refers to the most trade distorting form of farm subsidies of the developed nations in the context of World Trade Organization. And developed countries have basically more than 90% of global AMS entitlements, and they amount to nearly $160 billion. And most of the developing countries, including India, China, they do not have AMS entitlements. So answer is basically D, all of the above. Question number 6, consider the following statements. G33 is a group of 33 nations in the context of World Trade Organization. This statement is wrong. It is a group of 47 nations in the context of World Trade Organization. G33 is a group of countries fighting for agricultural issues, including the permanent solution to the issue of public stock holding for food security purposes and special safeguard mechanism. So that is correct. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is correct. Answer here becomes B, that is 2 only. So G33 is a group of 47 nations in the context of WTO, and this even includes India. India is there as a part of G33. Question number 7, Mahanadi water dispute is between which of the following states? Mahanadi is the major river of Odisha, and it involves Chhattisgarh as well. Answer here is C, that is 1 and 4. So Mahanadi water dispute is between the states of Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Okay, answer is C, 1 and 4. So Mahanadi water dispute, as I have told you, it is between Odisha and Chhattisgarh. So Odisha is basically alarmed by Chhattisgarh's plan to build 13 barrages, 7 pickup weirs, that is small dams, across the Mahanadi in a plan to extract more water. So answer here becomes C, 1 and 4. So because Odisha is the it originates from that state and then finally it terminates in Odisha in the Bay of Bengal. So that is why Odisha is alarmed. Question number 8. Consider the following features of revamped Khelo India program. Introduction of a pan-Indian sports scholarship scheme which would cover 1,000 most talented young athletes each year across select sports discipline. That is correct. Each athlete selected under the scheme shall receive an annual scholarship worth rupees 5 lakh for 5 consecutive years. This is wrong. It's 5 lakh for 8 consecutive years. And the program aims to promote 20 universities across the country as hubs of sporting excellence. So that is correct. Answer here becomes C, that is 1 and 3. So each athlete selected under this scheme shall receive an annual scholarship worth rupees 5 lakh for 8 consecutive years, because sports take a long time before the person develops. Question number 9. The 6-party talks in the context of the North Korea includes which of the following countries? US is there, China is there, South Korea obviously is there, Japan is there, Russia is there. Okay, and North Korea is their 6th country. And answer here is D, that is all of the above, because there are a lot of issues going on with North Korea. That is why so many measures are needed to counter the threat of the North Korean country, because they are having nuclear weapons and they can literally create chaos and wreak havoc. So answer here is basically D, all of the above: US, China, Japan, Russia, North Korea and South Korea. So the 6-party talks, they were started in 2003 to establish a framework for engagement between North Korea, South Korea, US, China, Japan and Russia. All these countries are very close to North Korea basically. Okay, so answer here is D, all of the above. And last question, the P5+1 in the context of Iran nuclear program includes which of the following countries? US is there, China is there, Japan is not there, Russia is there. Answer is A, 1, 2, 4. So PA5+1 is a group of world powers which have been negotiating with Iran for last 10 years with the goal of limiting Iran's capacity to manufacture nuclear weapon, and they will give economic sanctions relief from it. Okay, and the ability to pursue a civilian nuclear energy program. It includes US, China, Russia, France, UK, which are the 5 countries, and Germany. That is why PF+1. 5 is the Security Council. Thank you for watching this lesson. Hey guys, what's up? So today is 15 December 2017 and I'm back with my MCQ course. So let us get started and let us learn today's 10 MCQs. Question number 1. India aims to achieve 100 gigawatt of solar power by 2022. Of the 100 gigawatt, 40 gigawatt is expected to be from solar rooftop projects, and the country's rooftop solar capacity is expected to cross the 20 gigawatt mark in 2017-18. Which of the following statement is correct? So see, these statements 1 and 2 are obviously, I have told like enough times that 100 gigawatt of solar energy is required by 2022, and out of 100, 40 is expected to be the rooftop projects. But the third statement is wrong, because the government increased its solar power target from 20 gigawatt to 100 gigawatt. That is correct. 40 is from solar rooftop capacity. At present it is just 1.4 gigawatt and it is expected to cross 2 gigawatt mark in 2017-18. It is talking about 20 here, so that is like absolutely wrong. So that is why the answer here is pretty clear, that is A, 1 and 2 only. The third statement is absolutely wrong. It is not 20. They are missing the mark by 10x. Okay, 10x is huge. It is really huge. Question number 2. Consider the following statements about solar rooftop investment program. So solar rooftop, you have a house, it has a roof. Usually if you are not living in the ground floor, the top floor people have the roof, so there you can put it. It is a $1 billion project being implemented by the help of World Bank. This is wrong. It is Asia Development Bank. Under the program, solar rooftop system of around 10 gigawatt capacity will be installed on industrial and commercial buildings throughout the India. This is again wrong. It is 1 gigawatt capacity. See, don't confuse. This is huge amount. 10 gigawatt is huge amount considering this. So answer here is D, neither 1 nor 2. So it is a $1 billion project being implemented with the help of Asian Development Bank, and under the program, solar rooftop system around 1 gigawatt capacity will be installed on industrial and commercial buildings throughout the India. So these statements are absolutely correct. Let us see the question number 3. The Asian Development Bank is based in Manila. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. It is based in Manila. Manila is basically the capital of Philippines. So this statement is absolutely correct. The bank admits the members of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific and non-regional developed countries. This statement is also correct. It offers both hard loans and soft loans. Yes, this is also correct. So answer here becomes basically C, D, all of the above. So the Asian Development Bank is based in Manila, and it is dedicated to reducing the poverty in Asia and the entire Pacific region, inclusive by causing inclusive economic growth, environmentally sustainable growth, regional integration, etc. And the bank admits the members of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia, Pacific and non-regional developed countries, and it offers both the hard loans as well as soft loans. Now there is a difference between these two terms, so let us understand what is the difference between hard loans and soft loans. So hard loans are like from ordinary capital resources on commercial terms, but soft loans are usually with, let's say, less interest rate, special concession rate, and you can return it after 30 years. That kind of loans are called as soft loans. So they are like ADB extends soft loans from special fund sources with concessional conditions, etc. So this statement is correct. Then you have question number 4. Which of the following is under the targeted programs under the Strategic Climate Fund? Forest Investment Program, yes, it is there in the Strategic Climate Fund. Pilot Program for Climate Resilience, yes. The Program for Scaling Up Renewable Energy in Low-Income Countries, yes. Answer is all of the above are under that. So what are these? Let us see. So Strategic Climate Fund is one of the two funds of the climate investment funds, other being Clean Technology Fund. And the Forest Investment Program aims to support developing countries' efforts to reduce emission from deforestation and forest degradation. And Pilot Program for Climate Resilience was the first program under the SCF. And the Program for Scaling Up Renewable Energy in Low-Income Countries is aimed at demonstrating the social, economic and environmental viability of low-carbon development. Question number 5. India and Bangladesh have inked a memorandum of understanding for cooperation on establishing Indian SEZs in Bangladesh at which of the following places? So Mirsara is definitely there, Bhiramara is definitely there, Mongla is also there. So all of these places there, so answer becomes D, all of the above. So India and Bangladesh have inked a memorandum of understanding in June 2015 for cooperation on establishing SEZ. You understand, right? Special Economic Zone is basically SEZ. So it will be done at Mirsara, which is the largest one. Then you have Bhiramala and you have Mongla. And the construction of these special economic zones and Indian investment in the zones were to be facilitated through concessional line of credit extended by India to Bangladesh. Question number 6. While the gross value added gives a picture of the state of economic activity from the producer's side or the supply side as it is called, the gross domestic product gives the picture from the consumer side or demand perspective. Yes, this is absolutely correct. Both measures need not match because of the difference in treatment of net taxes. Yes, answer is C, both 1 and 2. So gross value added, that is the GVA, it is from the producer side. It is basically the total amount of goods and services produced, okay, in an economy after deducting the cost of inputs and raw materials that have gone into the production of those goods and services. And it also gives sector specific picture like what is growth in an area, industry or sector of an economy. And at the macro level, it is the sum of a country's GDP and net of subsidies and taxes in the economy. Question number 7. Consider the following statements about Project 75. The project aims to build 6 Scorpion class submarines for the Indian Navy. Yes, this is correct, absolutely correct. The submarines designed by Defense DRDO are being built in Mazgaon, Dock Limited. Wrong. Scorpion class submarines are a class of nuclear powered attack submarines. Wrong. Answer is A1 only. It is designed by French Naval Defense and Energy Company DCNS, not DRDO. And Scorpion class submarines are in diesel electric attack submarines, not nuclear. Okay. So question number 8. Which among the following are the grounds for preventive detention in India? So security of state, yes. Maintenance of public order, yes. Maintenance of supplies and essential services and defense, yes. Foreign affairs and security of India, yes. All of these are grounds. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. So Article 22(3) of the Indian Constitution provides that if a person is arrested or detained under a law providing for preventive detention, then the protection under Article 22(1) and 22(2) shall not be available. And the grounds of preventive detention includes like security of state, maintenance of public order, foreign affairs, essential services, defense, supplies, etc. Which one of the following is not correctly matched? Bhitarkanika olive readily correct, Dalma Hills wild elephant correct, Kaziranga horned rhinoceros correct, Dachigam Asiatic lions is wrong. So Dachigam is in J&K, it is famous for gazelle and wolf. Asiatic lions are in Gujarat. Last question, which of the following are not the agreements under the aegis of WTO? Multi-fiber agreement is not there. Then agreement on agriculture is there, textiles and clothing is there, this is also not there. So answer becomes 1 and 3 are not there. Okay, so this is the answer. Thank you for watching this lesson. Hey guys, what's up? So today is 17 December 2017. So let us get started with our awesome MCQs, which will help you sail through the UPSC Civil Service Examination Prelims, which is supposed to be held on 3rd June 2018. So let us get started. Question number 1. When a bill is reserved by the governor for the consideration of the president has which of the following alternatives? Let us see these alternatives. The president can ratify the bill. Yes, obviously president can ratify the bill. President can reject the bill. Yes, president can reject the bill. President can return the bill for the reconsideration of the state legislature. All of these can be done by the president if governor decides that the bill has to be reserved for the consideration of the president, and president can either ratify it, can reject it, or even president can say that please reconsider it, oh state legislatures. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. All these statements are correct. So prevention of cruelty to animals, which is Karnataka Amendment Bill 2017, has finally received the presidential assent. And with this, all the hurdles for resuming Kambala, which is a traditional slush track buffalo race of the coastal districts, are cleared. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. Question number 2. Which of the following are the members of the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation? So Bangladesh is definitely one of the member. Then Bhutan is also a member. Maldives is also a member. Myanmar is also a member. So all these countries are members of the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation. Okay. So it is also called as SASEC. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. All of these are correct. So South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation or SASEC program, it brings together Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal and Sri Lanka in a project-based partnership that aims to promote regional prosperity, improve various economic opportunities, build a better quality of life for the people of this particular sub-region. The sub-region is South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation, and Asian Development Bank serves as the SASEC Secretariat. So answer here becomes D, all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation. Question number 3. Consider the following statements. The 9th edition of the Delhi Dialogue was recently held in New Delhi. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. The Delhi Dialogue is an annual event to discuss political, security, economic and socio-cultural organ. This is between the OECD and India. So this statement is wrong. It is not OECD at all. It is ASEAN and India. So answer here becomes A, one only. Second statement is wrong. So the 9th edition of the Delhi Dialogue was recently held in New Delhi, and the Delhi Dialogue is basically an annual event to discuss political, security, economic and socio-cultural engagement between ASEAN and India. Okay, and it has been held annually since 2009, and the theme for Delhi Dialogue 9 was ASEAN-India relations, changing the course for the next 25 years. So it is not between OECD, it is between ASEAN and India. So I think you know the answer now. Question number 4. Which one of the following is true about GSAT 7, which is also called as Rukmani? Okay. It is basically Navy's own dedicated military satellite. So answer here becomes C. Okay. So GSAT 7, also called as Rukmani, is Navy's own dedicated military satellite. And Rukmani has not only helped the Navy keep an eye on both the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, but it has also helped the force increase its surveillance capabilities from Persian Gulf to Malacca Strait. Question number 5. Special drawing rights introduced by the International Monetary Fund are in which form? So the special drawing rights are in various forms, and these forms basically includes bookkeeping entry for now. So SDRs are kept in the bookkeeping entry only form. So special drawing rights were introduced by the IMF in 1970, and they are often called as the paper gold, and they are designed to supplement gold and dollars in setting international balance of payments. Okay, so answer here becomes D. Question number 6. Consider the following statements. Bajra or pearl millet is essentially a rabi crop in India. This is wrong. It is a kharif crop. Okay, and though maize is cultivated as a rabi crop in some areas, it is also grown as kharif crop. That is correct. So answer here becomes B, that is 2 only. So bajra or pearl millet is essentially a kharif crop in India. Question number 7. In India, natural rubber is produced in which of the following areas? So Karnataka definitely has a lot of natural rubber. Then Andaman and Nicobar Islands also have a lot of natural rubber. Then Tripura also has a lot of natural rubber. Himachal is not there. So answer here becomes A, that is 1, 2, 3. So these are the regions where natural rubber is produced in the India. So when it comes to natural rubber in India, it is almost entirely produced in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So these three states all produce almost 100% of the India's natural rubber, and even them, the Kerala out of these three is the largest producer of natural rubber in India. Okay, it is in India. Tamil Nadu is the second largest producer of rubber, but it is far behind Kerala. Like there is no competition. And Tripura and even Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they also produce small quantities of rubber. I am talking about natural rubber here, not synthetic rubber. So answer here becomes A, that is 1, 2, 3 only. Question number 8. Which one of the following does not constitute a part of the jurisdiction of the World Trade Organization? So here trade related tariffs and non-tariff barriers, yes, it includes TRIPS, obviously trade related intellectual property rights is included. Agreement relating to agriculture is also included, but regional trade agreements is not included. So answer here becomes D, regional trade agreements. So regional trade agreements do not constitute a part of the jurisdiction of the World Trade Organization. So answer here becomes D, that is the regional trade agreements. Question number 9. A dual economy implies. What does a dual economy implies? Existence of domestic and export market. This is wrong. It implies like industry and agriculture is coexisting. Okay, like modern industry is existing with traditional handicrafts, commercial agriculture is existing with subsistence farming, as you will see in India. So that is called a dual economy. Modern industry and commercial agriculture when coexist with subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is a farming where the people or the person, they grow the food for their family needs only. They are not there out for selling, etc. So, and traditional handicrafts, again, just to maintain the needs of their family, not to get a lot of profit. So answer here becomes B, that is 2 only. So a dual economy is an economy where modern industry is going hand in hand with the traditional handicrafts and commercial agriculture is coexisting along with the subsistence farming. So this condition will be seen a lot in developing countries like India. Question number 10. To make meaningful international comparisons of income and living standards, which one of the following is the most important, or which one of the following makes more sense, or which one of the following is the most appropriate? Everybody knows the answer. Answer is purchasing power parity, PPP. So PPP, answer becomes A. So it aims to determine the adjustments needed to made in the exchange rates of two currencies to make them at par at the purchasing power of each other. So you see 20 items. Let's say in USA a bread will cost, let's say $1. In India it might cost 50 cents. So India is, let's say, 2 times less cheaper. So actual dollar value will be 2 times lesser. So it will be, instead of 64, it will be 32. Ideally it is around 3 times cheaper to live in India as compared to US. So the dollar will come down by thrice and the GDP will be increased by 3 times. Okay. So thank you for watching this lesson. Hey guys, what's up? So let us discuss 18 December 2017 MCQs, and these MCQs will really help you in clearing UPSC Civil Service examination. So let us get started. I am also making this course in Hindi, so those of you who are who like Hindi more than English, just like me, so you can go through those lessons. Okay, so let us get started. Question number 1. A red notice is a request to locate and provisionally arrest an individual pending the request. So this statement is absolutely correct. A red notice compels the member country to arrest an individual who is the subject of the red notice. That is wrong. Then you have the third. A red notice is an international arrest warrant. So this is also wrong. So answer here basically becomes A, 1 only. So red notice is basically issued by Interpol, but it cannot compel any member country to arrest an individual. So that is the first point. who is the subject of the red notice. Okay, you cannot just compel anyone, so you have to remember this point. Then secondly, each member country decides for itself what legal value to give a red notice within their borders. So that point is also absolutely clear. And a red notice is not an international arrest warrant. It is totally entirely different ball game. So try to remember these points, these little things. They make a lot of difference in the longer run. Question number 2. Consider the following statements. Interpol issues arrest warrants in the form of red notices. This is wrong. Interpol does not issue any red warrant whatsoever. Red notices by Interpol can be issued for both the individuals and organizations. This is also wrong. Red notices by Interpol can be issued for individuals only. So answer here becomes D, that is neither 1 nor 2. So both these statements are wrong. So Interpol does not issue arrest warrants. So this is the first point. So when Interpol publishes a red notice, this is just simply to inform all the member countries that the person is wanted based on an arrest warrant or equivalent judicial decision issued by a country or on an international tribunal. And red notices by Interpol can be issued for individuals only. So this statement is wrong because it talks about both individuals and organizations. So answer here becomes D, neither 1 nor 2. Question number 3. Red notice is important because it gives high international visibility to cases. Yes, this does give. Yes, this is absolutely correct. Criminals and suspects are flagged to border officials, making their travel difficult. Yes, this statement is also correct. I agree with it. Countries can request and share critical information linked to an investigation. Yes, this is also correct. So answer here basically becomes D, all of the above. All these points are highlights the importance of red notice. So red notice is important because of these conditions, and that is why it gives high international visibility to cases. Criminal and suspects are flagged to border officials. So just in case if they are, like, let's say crossing a border, let's say from a air route or sea route, etc., so these officials can catch them and makes travel difficult. And countries can request and share critical information which is linked to these kind of investigations. Okay. Question number 4. Export of rice from India has faced problems in the last few years in US and European markets because of which of the following? So here export of rice is facing problems because detection of pesticides which exceeds the prescribed maximum residue limits. So answer here is C. So export of rice from India has faced problems in the last few years in USA and European markets because of detection of pesticides which exceeds the prescribed maximum residue limits, and they are very health conscious over there. They will not tolerate these things, so that is why it creates a lot of issues. Okay. Antibiotics can be prescribed for which of the following? So just remember, as a rule of thumb, antibiotics is prescribed for diseases, okay, which are caused by bacteria. Usually that is the case. Very rarely they will prescribe for viral infections because they don't want the bacterial infection to spread. So that is also correct. So dengue, chikungunya, malaria, they are not bacterial disease. Dengue and chikungunya are viral disease. Malaria is a plasmodial disease. Tuberculosis may, yes, you give antibiotics. So answer is C, that is 4 only. So as per both dengue and chikungunya caused by virus, malaria is plasmodium. And as per the policy of Medical Council of India, antibiotics should not be taken for malaria, dengue and chikungunya. Question number 6. Which of the following are among the reasons which is responsible for the rampant antibiotic resistance which is increasing? So technically most of these reasons are correct. Indiscriminate use of antibiotics, yes, this is 100% correct, no doubt about it. Then release of some chemicals into the environment, this is also correct. Then discharge of drugs into the environment, this is also correct. Answer is D, all of the above. So these are some of the reasons, they are not all of the reasons. So just try to remember, since we are using antibiotics indiscriminately, so obviously it is creating a lot of issues. And release of some chemicals into the environment, discharge of drugs into the environment, all of this basically leads to issues related to antibiotic resistance. Then we have question number 7. Tuiral hydropower project is concerned with which of the following state? So basically it is concerned with Mizoram. Okay, and Tuiral hydropower project is concerned with Mizoram, and this has made Mizoram the third power surplus state in the region after Tripura and Sikkim. So answer here basically becomes A. Okay. Question number 8. Consider the following statements. The Kaladan multimodal transit transport project, among others, involves connecting of Aizawl with the deep water Situe port in Myanmar. So this is correct. It is a tripartite agreement among India, Bangladesh and Myanmar. This statement is wrong. It is a bilateral agreement in India and Myanmar. So answer here is A, one only. So the Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. So tripartite means the three parties are involved, but bilateral means only two parties are involved. So it is not a two party, it's a basically it's not a three party, it's just a two party model. So it is a bilateral agreement between India and Myanmar. Question number 9. Free basics has been banned in India by the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Yes, this statement is correct. Second is, the companies violating the rules of net neutrality can be fined 50,000 rupees per day for the duration of the contravention, subject to a maximum of 50 lakh rupees. So this statement is also correct. So answer here becomes C, that is both 1 and 2. So both these statements are absolutely correct. Okay, absolutely no doubt about these statements. So free basics has been banned in India by the TRAI as it was against the principle of net neutrality. So free basics means that, let's say, Facebook partners with Airtel, and now Airtel says that the only Facebook is absolutely free, you don't have to pay for internet here, but if you have to use, let's say, Google, then you will have to pay. So it is against the principles, and companies violating the rules of net neutrality, they can be fined 50,000 rupees per day for the duration of the contravention, and it is subject to maximum of 50 lakh rupees. So answer here is C, both 1 and 2. And last question for the day. India and China are both the members of which of the following? So usually India and China are not members of many things, but again, like Nuclear Supplier Group, Australia Group, Wassenaar Arrangement, India is a member, but China is a member of NSG, India is a member of Wassenaar Arrangement, and both India and China are not a member of Australia Group. So answer is D, none of the above. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So today is 19th December 2017. So let us get started with today's MCQs. Okay, and these MCQs will really help you a lot to crack the UPSC Civil Service examination. So 19 December 2017, here we go. Question number 1. Consider the following statements. The International Civil Aviation Organization is a United Nations specialized agency. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. International Civil Aviation Organization is linked to ECOSOC. So what is ECOSOC? Economic and Social Council. So that statement is also correct. The International Civil Aviation Organization manages the administration governance of the Chicago Convention. So that statement is also correct. So answer, what is the answer here? So answer is D, all of the above. All these statements are absolutely correct. So let us see. So the Convention on International Civil Aviation, it is also known as Chicago Convention. So just in case they ask what is Chicago Convention and what it is related to, so the answer becomes Convention on International Civil Aviation. Okay, so answer will be D, all of the above. Question number 2. Which one of the following publishes the State Investment Potential Index in India? So State Investment Potential Index in India, that is published by the National Council of Applied Economic Research. Okay, NCAER. So answer here is C. So National Council of Applied Economic Research is the one body which publishes the State Investment Potential Index in India. So let us see more about it. So National Council of Applied Economic Research, in 1956 it was established, and it is India's oldest and largest independent not-for-profit economic policy research institute. Okay, so try to remember these points, it will help you a lot in solving various questions. Then you have question number 3. Consider the following statements about the Pradhan Mantri Maitritwa Vandana Yojana. Okay, so it is a conditional cash transfer. Yes, absolutely correct, for pregnant and lactating women. This is also correct, of 18 years of age or above for the first 2 live births. This is technically wrong. This is 19 years of age or above. Okay, this is not 18 or above, this is 19 or above. The scheme provides financial aid of rupees 6,000 to pregnant women who undergo institutional delivery for hospital admission. Yes, this statement is correct. The scheme is covered under the National Food Security Act of 2013. Yes, this statement is also correct. So answer here is basically C, that is 2 and 3 only. So it is basically a conditional cash transfer scheme for pregnant and lactating women of 19 years of age or above for the first 2 live births. So answer here becomes C, that is 2 and 3 only. Question number 4. Which of the following statements are correct here? The Indian Community Welfare Fund, it is aimed at assisting overseas Indian nationals in times of distress and emergency. Yes, this is correct. So ICWF actually does this job. And ICWF stands extended to all the Indian missions and posts abroad. This statement is also correct. ICWF is primarily funded by levying service charge on various consular services rendered by the Indian missions posts abroad. So that statement is also correct. So answer here becomes basically D. So all these statements are absolutely correct. So there is no doubt about it. So answer becomes D, all of the above. So Indian Community Welfare Fund was set up in 2009, and it aimed at assisting the overseas Indian nationals because they have a lot of distress times, right? Let's say there is a crisis in the country. So who is going to assist them? And it is basically aimed at assisting the most deserved cases on a means tested basis. So all these points are very, very important that you will need to understand. Then the ICWF would be funded through budgetary support, etc., and from the ministry, and funds raised by the Indian missions by levying a nominal service charge on the consular services and through voluntary contributions from the various Indian communities. So answer is D, all of the above. Question number 5. Which one of the following countries has become the first non-member of the NPT to have a civil nuclear deal with Japan? So its answer is basically India only. So answer is A. So India is the first non-member of the Non-Proliferation Treaty to have signed such a deal with Japan, and the deal will help India access Japan's nuclear market. So answer here becomes A, that is India. Okay. Question number 6. Consider the following statements about the Commitment to Reducing Inequality Index 2017, that is CRI 2017. So India has been ranked 132 out of 152 countries. Yes, this statement is correct. The US had the highest level of inequality among developed countries, though it is the wealthiest country in the history. That is also correct. Bhutan is known for the coining the term gross national happiness, is ranked the best among the South Asian countries. This statement is wrong. So answer here is A, that is 1 and 2. So index is prepared by international NGO Oxfam Development Finance International. They ranks nation on the basis of their welfare spending, progressive nature of the tax system, and prevailing wage inequality in the labor market. So answer here is A, 1 and 2 only. Question number 7. Consider the following statements. Around 50% of the forest area in India is fire prone. That is correct. But only 6% is prone to severe fire damage. So this statement is correct. And many open forests are even affected by fire twice or thrice, 3 times per year. So that is also correct. So answer here becomes C, that is both 1 and 2. So the Forest Survey of India data on forest fire attribute around 50% of the forest areas as fire prone. Only 6% of the forests are prone to severe fire damage. So there are differences between these two statements. And a large fraction of India's deciduous, semi-deciduous forest, it is characterized by open and frequently burned stands. And to reduce the water stress, the deciduous trees shed their leaves during the dry season. And these fuels, together with the grass layer, what this does is it allows the development of low, medium intensity surface fires almost every year. You will see them in India. Question number 8. Which of the following are included in the Human Development Index? You definitely have life expectancy. We want people to have long and healthy life. Then education, yes. So, and gross national income per capita, that is also there. Infant mortality is not there. So answer here becomes A, 1, 2, 3. So the Human Development Index, it is a summary measure of average achievement. Obviously it has changed now, but still the dimensions are same: long and healthy life, basic knowledgeable, and having a decent standard of living. Question number 9. In which type of unemployment marginal productivity is 0 or near 0? So here what does it mean by marginal? So if you add one more person, or if you remove one more person, nothing will happen. So in that case, the marginal productivity of the guy who was added is 0. So answer here, it is disguised unemployment. Let's say there is a land which was cultivated by 2 people, but now 8 people are cultivating it. So 6 people are disguisedly unemployed. So answer is B. So in disguised unemployment, marginal productivity is 0 or near 0. And it is the change in the output that results from changing the labor input by 1 unit if all the other factors are constant. And last question for today is, which one of the following is not included under the WTO regulations? So basically, removal of foreign portfolio investments, that is not included in the WTO regulations. So WTO regulation does not include removal of foreign portfolio investments. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? So in this lesson I'll talk about 20th December 2017 MCQs, and they will really be beneficial to you in the exam, whichever exam you're preparing for, but especially it will be beneficial for the civil service aspirants. Okay, so let us get started and we will discuss the MCQs for today. Question number 1, which of the following are correctly matched? Andhra Pradesh Brahmotsavam, yes, this is correctly matched. Arunachal Pradesh Losar festival, this is also correctly matched. Assam has Judima festival, that is also correctly matched. So answer becomes D, that is all of the above. So all these statements are absolutely correct, there is no doubt about it. Okay, so all these are absolutely correct. So some states and their festivals, basically these are the type of festivals which are celebrated in these states. So Andhra Pradesh has Brahmotsavam, Arunachal Pradesh has Losar festival, and Assam has Judima festival. So answer becomes D, all of the above. Pinkathon, which was recently in news, is basically pink color that is associated with women, that is associated with breast cancer, women's wellness at large. So it was a run. A thon always means a run. Hackathon means a long like a run sort of thing where they do hacks. It's not, they are not running physically, but they are like non-stop working for 24 to 36 hours. Marathon, Pinkathon, etc. It is a run to promote awareness about women's wellness. Answer here is A. So Pinkathon, which was recently news, it was a run to promote the awareness about women's wellness. So answer here becomes A. Okay. Then you have question number 3, that out of the 8 species of pelican, the brown pelican is the smallest pelican and the American white pelican is the largest. So that statement is 100% correct. Koleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh is famous for white pelicans. Now this statement is wrong. So answer here is A, that is one only. Okay. So the Koleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh is very famous for its grey pelicans. So answer here becomes A, one only, and it is also famous for an animal called as painted storks. So these are also birds. Question number 4, Niksha is a web-based solution for monitoring of tuberculosis patients in India. Yes, this statement is absolutely correct. Tuberculosis is a notifiable disease in India. So what do you mean by notifiable disease? Basically, you will have to tell the government or any government establishment that you have identified this particular disease. Okay. So answer here becomes C, that is both 1 and 2. Both these statements are absolutely correct. So to monitor the RNTCP, that is Revised National Tuberculosis Control Program, RNTCP, effectively, a web-enabled and case-based monitoring application called as Niksha has been developed by National Informatics Center, that is NIC. And notifiable disease A, so it is a notifiable disease that requires that all the clinical establishments which are run, managed by the government, including the local authorities, private or NGO, non-governmental organization sector, and or individual practitioner, report monthly on the cases they have diagnosed, so that the government is aware about the total number of disease. So various diseases which are of importance to the government as far as public health is concerned, so they are called as the notifiable disease. So tuberculosis is one of such disease which government wants to keep data on. If you have common cold, then no need to notify, but if you have tuberculosis, you should definitely notify. Okay. Question number 5, solar urja through the localization for sustainability or SOLUS project is concerned with. So SOLUS project is basically concerned with A, that is distribution of solar lamps to school children in power deficit districts. So answer here becomes A. Okay. So solar urja through localization for sustainability or SOLUS project, it is concerned with distribution of solar lamps. Why do you want to distribute solar lamps? So they can study under it. Okay. To school children in power deficit districts. So answer is A. Question number 6, Kepler 90, which was recently in news, is, so Kepler 90 is basically a star that has 8 planets orbiting it. So just like our star, Sun. It also is a star which has 8 planets that orbits it. So answer here is B. It is a star that has 8 planets orbiting it. So that is your Kepler 90, ladies and gentlemen. So Kepler 90 is a star just like our Sun, and it was recently news because it has 8 planets orbiting it. So very just like our Sun. Question number 7. The Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan is a centrally sponsored scheme of vocationalization of secondary and higher secondary education. Yes, this statement is correct. It focuses on enhancing the employability of youth through demand-driven, competency-based, modular vocational courses while reducing the dropout rates. So that statement is also correct. And its modules are customized to suit the requirements of children in different age groups. No, this is wrong. So answer here is A, 1 and 2. The third statement is wrong. So Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, RMSA, it is basically a centrally sponsored scheme. It is not a central sector scheme. It is a centrally sponsored scheme of vocationalization of secondary and higher education, and it focuses on enhancing the employability of youth so that whatever industry is demanding, those skills are developed through demand-driven, competency-based, modular vocational courses, while it is also reducing the dropout rates. Its biggest drawback is that its modules are not customized to suit the requirements of children in different age groups. They are all the same. The same approach for skill training a 12 or 14-year-old cannot be followed for training an 18-year-old because schools they need to be very different at these age groups. Okay, so answer here is A, that is 1 and 2. Question number 8. The national occupational standards specify the standards of performance an individual must achieve when carrying out a function in the workplace. This statement is correct. National operational standards requires 500 hours for skill training. This is wrong. It requires 150 hours for skill training. So answer here becomes A, that is 1 only. So national occupational standards specify the standard of performance an individual must achieve when he or she is carrying out a function in the workplace. Together with the knowledge and understanding, they need to meet the standard closely, and national occupational standard requires 150 hours for skill training. Question number 9. Consider the following statements. The income inequality in India has increased in the last 30 years. Yes, this statement is correct. The top 10% of earners in India contribute more to the national income than rest of the 90%. This is also correct. That is why the income inequality has increased in India. So answer is C, both 1 and 2. So income inequality has reached historically high levels in India since the 80s, when economic and trade liberalization began in the country, and with the top 10% of the population accounting for 56% of the national income in 2014. So that was a report by the World Inequality Lab. So try to remember these names. Last question. Which of the following countries has recently circulated a draft in UN to nullify any change to the legal status of Jerusalem? Answer is Egypt, A. So Egypt has circulated this. So thank you for watching this lesson.